Hi everybody, welcome to Live Blogger. I have combined all the videos in the related post design series into the single long video so that it's easy for you to follow. Now in this video, I'm going to show you how to design this related post section from scratch using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So here we can see we have basically 3 related posts displayed over here. And if I refresh this page, we have another set of random 3 related posts displayed over here. So every time we refresh, we have new set of related posts. And this is also completely responsive, so if I decrease the width of the browser window, this is how it will look on a smartphone. So we're going to design this in this video, and in the end I'll also show you how to add this to your Blogger website, and I will also leave the link of the source code in the description of this video. So let's get started. Right here I have created this folder called related posts, and I just opened it with VS Code. And here I also have a folder called images, and in that we have these 3 images which we're going to use in our design. So let's go ahead and start by creating an HTML file. So I'll just click on new file and I'll just name it index.html. And let's also create a CSS file. I'll just name it style.css. And let's also create a JavaScript file. I'll just name it main.js. Right, let's start with the index.html file. Now in VS Code, you can just press exclamation and press tab and you'll have this basic HTML5 code. Right, let's link the CSS file over here. So I'll just type style.css over here in the href. And we'll also link the JavaScript file over here. So I'll just type script:/src and press tab, and here I'll just type main.js. Right, now let's start with the markup of our design. So the first thing we will do is we'll create a container division. So let's create a division with the class of related posts container. And in that, the first thing we need to have is this heading. So let's create an h2 for that. And let's also give it a class of related posts title. And let's type related posts. And now for these 3 blog posts, let's create a container division. So let's give it a class of related posts. Now for each of the posts, let's create a division with the class of related post. Now the first thing we need to have over here is the thumbnail. So let's create an anchor tag because we need to have a link for the thumbnail as well. So whenever someone clicks on the thumbnail, they should be taken to that post. So here you can add the link of the post. But now here in this anchor tag, let's create an img tag. And for the src, let's type images / and I'll just select blog1.jpg. And now the next thing we need to have is this title. So for the title also we need to have an anchor tag. So let's create an anchor tag and let's also give it a class. And let's set it to post title, and I'll just copy this title from here and let's paste it over here. Right, now let's go ahead and copy this division from here and let's paste it 2 more times. So these are the 2 other posts. So for the second one, let's type blog2.jpg, and here let's type blog3.jpg, and let's also change the title. So just paste the title over here. And then for the third one, let's copy this title from here and let's paste it over here. Right, now let's open this in our browser and let's see how it looks. So I have this extension called Live Server installed in VS Code. So once you install that, you can just right click over here in the HTML and click on Open with Live Server. Right, now here we can see all the elements in our design are displayed over here. Now let's go ahead and style it. So let's go to our style.css file. And the first thing we will do is we'll target the related posts container. So let's type .related posts container, and let's set the max width to 800 pixels, and let's also set the font family to Roboto and sans serif, and we'll also bring it to the center. So let's type margin 0 for top and bottom and auto for left and right. Right, now if we go back to our website, we can see that the element is in the center, but the width of the image is too much. So let's go ahead and change the width. So I'll just type related post img, and let's set the width of the image to 100%, and we'll also set a specific height to the image. So let's type 160 pixels, and here we'll also type object fit to cover so that it has the correct proportions. Right, now let's go ahead and style this heading. So for the heading, we have an h2 with the class of related posts title. So let's type related posts title, and let's set the color of the text to dark gray, and we will set a margin bottom, and let's set it to 40 pixels. And we'll also set the font size to, let's try 30 pixels. Let's try 24 pixels. And I think that looks alright. Right now let's add this underline. So for that we will use after selector. So let's type related posts title colon after. Now we need to position this after selector relative to this post title. So here let's type position relative. And here first of all we need to type content and we need to set it to blank. And then let's type position and let's set it to absolute. And let's set the height of the element to 2 pixels. And let's set the width of the element to 100 pixels. And let's set the background color to red. Now we can see here we have the underline, but we need to bring it to the bottom of this heading. So let's go back and here let's tap left and let's set it to 0. And for the bottom, let's set the position to negative 10 pixels. And this is how it looks. Right now let's style these related posts. So here we can see we have this division with the class of related posts. So we need to have all these elements one next to the other. And for the smartphone version, we need to have all of these one below the other. So let's go ahead and type related posts. And let's set the display to grid. And we will set the grid template columns to 1FR, 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 which means 3 columns with the same width. And let's also give it a gap of 20 pixels. And now if you go back, here we can see we have these 3 posts one next to the other. Now let's also add a media query. So here I'll just type at media. And let's set the max width to 640 pixels. So when the screen size is less than 640 pixels, all the CSS in this block will be added to our design. So here let's type related posts. And we'll set the grid template columns to just 1FR, which means 1 column. So now if you go back to our website and if I decrease the width of the browser window, here we can see all these elements are one below the other. Now here we'll also set a max width for the smartphone version. So here we can see we have set a max width of 800 pixels. So I'll just copy this selector from here and let's paste it over here. And here I'll just set the max width to, let's try 400 pixels. So this is how it looks. Right now let's style all these elements inside the blog post. So the first thing we will do is we will add a box shadow. So here let's type related post and let's set the box shadow to 0, 4 pixels, 12 pixels, negative 2 pixels, RGBA 0, 0, 0 and 0.2. Right now if you go back to the website, here we can see that we have this box shadow. Now let's also add some padding to this title. So for the title we have this anchor tag with a class of post title. So let's style that. I'll just type related post, post title. And first of all, let's remove the underlines. So let's type text decoration to none. And let's set the color of the text to dark gray. And let's set the font size to 18 pixels. And let's also add some padding. So let's set the padding to 16 pixels. Now here we can see that the padding for the top and bottom are not added. So that's because the post title, which is the anchor tag, is inline element by default. So for that you have to go over here and type display of inline block. Now here we can see we have the correct padding. Let's also add some line height. So let's type line height. And let's set the line height to 1.6. And we'll also set the font weight to bold. So let's type font weight bold. Right now the last thing we will do is we will add the hover effect. So let's go back and here for the related post, let's type related post colon hover. And when we hover over this, let's type transform scale and we'll set it to 1.01. And we'll also change the box shadow a little bit. So let's copy this code and let's paste it over here. And here for the related post, I'll just change this to -4 pixels. And here we'll just keep it to -2 pixels. And we'll also have a smooth transition. So let's tap transition and let's set it to all 500 milliseconds ease. And now let's go back. And now we can see that the hover effect is working all right. I think we can change it to 1.02. And now it looks all right. So with that, we have completed designing the related posts component. Now in this video I'll show you how to add JavaScript so that all this data that we see over here will be fetched from a JavaScript array. So let's get started. Right here I'm in the source code, and here we have this JavaScript file, and here I have already created this array of objects where we have details about the posts. So here we can see in each of these objects we have the title, the link, and the thumbnail. So those are the details that we need over here, and we have 5 of these posts over here. So you can go ahead and create any number of posts over here. Now if you go to the HTML file, here we can see that all the post details are written over here in the HTML. So here we can see we are adding the image for the thumbnail. We are also writing the title over here. Now what we will do is we'll just comment all this code over here. So you can just press command / and all this code will be commented. If you're using Windows, you can just press control /. But now if you go back to our website, here we can see that none of the posts are displayed over here. Now let's go ahead and write some JavaScript to display the posts over here. So let's go to the main.js file. And the first thing we will do is we will reference the container division, which is this division with the class of related posts. So let's type const related posts equals document.querySelector related posts. Now the next thing we will do is we'll create a function to generate all the related posts. So let's create a function with the name of generate related posts. And here I'll just call the function. Right now let's write the code for this function. Now the first thing we need to do is we need to display 3 of these posts randomly. So we have 5 posts over here. So for that, let's create a constant, and let's create an array called shuffled list. And let's set it equal to all posts, which is this array right here. Now to sort all the items inside the array randomly, we will use the function called sort inside JavaScript. And here we will use a callback function, and we'll just pass 2 variables over here. And here let's type 0.5 minus math.random. So this is basically a simple trick to randomize all the items inside the array. And the next thing we need to do is we need to display just 3 of the items inside the array. So for that we will use the slice method. So let's type slice, and I'll just type 0, 3. So what this will do is it will randomize all the items inside the array first, and then it will just store the first 3 items inside the array to this shuffled list. So let's go ahead and see whether it is working. So let's type shuffled list dot for each, and for each of the individual posts I'll just call it post. And let's create an arrow function. Let's go ahead and console.log the title so that we know everything is working alright. So let's type post.title. So here we can see we have this property of title inside this object. So now let's see whether we are getting 3 random posts from this array. So let's go back to our website and let's open the console. And now we can see we have these 3 posts. So let's refresh this page. And now we can see we have a different list. So every time we are getting different random 3 posts over here. So we know that it is working alright. So now let's go back and let's display all the details into our web page. So first of all, we need to create the thumbnail. So here we have this anchor tag, and in that we have the thumbnail. So let's type const thumbnail link equals document.createElement, and let's create an anchor tag. And we need to set the href of the thumbnail link to post.link, which we have over here. Right now let's go ahead and create an img tag. So let's type const thumbnail equals document.createElement img, and here let's type thumbnail .src, and we'll set it equal to post.thumbnail, so which is this property right here. And now we need to add this image to this thumbnail link. So let's type thumbnail link dot append child, and here we'll just type thumbnail. Right now let's create the title. So for the title we need to have an anchor tag with the class of post title. So let's type const title equals document.createElement a, and let's type title.classList.add, and we need to add a class of post title. And then for the href of the title we need to type post.link, And then for the inner HTML, let's type title.innerHTML equals post.title. Right now, the next thing we need to do is we need to create a division with the class of related post, and in that we need to add the thumbnail and the title. So let's type const related post equals document.createElement div, and let's type related post dot class list dot add, and we need to add a class of related post. Right now, let's add the thumbnail. So let's type related post dot append child thumbnail link, and related post dot append child, and let's type title. Right now, the last thing we need to do is we need to add this related post division to this container division, which has a class of related posts. So we are referencing that over here. So let's type related posts dot append child related post. Right now, let's go back to our website and let's see whether everything is working all right. So here we can see we have these 3 posts displayed over here. Let's refresh this page. And now we can see we have another 3 posts displayed over here. So every time we have these random posts displayed over here. So everything is working all right. So that's basically how you can add a related post design using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Right here, I'm in the dashboard of my Blogger website, and here we have these posts. And for each of the posts, we have some labels. Now we're going to use these labels to identify which of the posts are related to a particular post. So for example, if you're displaying this post, then the related post of this post will be the post which has these labels. So here we can see this post has a label of AI, so this can be related to this post. And if you scroll down, we have this post which has a label of tips. So this can also be a related post of this post. So in this way, we're going to identify which of the posts are related to a particular post, and we're going to display them in this design right here. So first of all, let's open our website and let's see how it looks. So let's click on View Blog. So this is how our website looks right now. Now we're going to display the related posts inside a post. So if you go inside one of these posts and if you scroll down, we want to display the related post somewhere over here. So let's right click over here and click on Inspect, and let's see how the website is structured. So here we can see we have this division with the class of post bottom. And I think we can add the related post just outside this post bottom division. So let's go to our theme code and let's see where this division is located. So let's go over here to theme. And by the way, I'm using this theme called Contempo Light, which comes by default with Blogger. So let's go ahead and click on this arrow and let's click on Edit HTML. Right now, let's click on this button and let's click on blog 1, which is the widget that displays the blog. So here we have the blog widget. Let's scroll down and let's look for the division with the class of post bottom. And here we have this division with the class of post bottom. So let's add some content over here and let's see whether this is the correct position. So here, just after this post bottom division, let's create a heading. And I'll just type testing. And let's see whether we are in the correct position. So let's click on Save. And let's go back to our website and let's refresh this page. And now here we can see it says testing. So we are in the correct position. Now we need to add the code of our design. But before that, we need to fetch all the posts that are related to this post. So let's go back to our theme code. And the first thing we need to do is we need to add an if condition. And we need to add this if condition because we want to display the related posts only on this content page. We don't want to display it in the home page. So let's create an if condition. So I'll just type less than b colon if, cond for the condition. And for the condition, let's type data colon blog dot page type, and let's set it to item. So this post over here is called an item. So if it is an item, then all the code inside this if condition will be executed. So let's close the if condition right here. Right now, the next thing we will do is we will loop through all the labels. So for that, let's type less than b colon loop. And for the loop, you need to have 2 attributes. One is values. So let's type values. and let's set the values to data colon post dot labels, and the next attribute is called var, and we can call this anything we want. I'll just call it label. So this is gonna be the name for each of the labels. So let's close the loop over here. Right now the next thing we will do is we will use JSON feed API to get the data of the Blogger website. So for that, let's type script and let's type src, and in that we can add a link. So here if we just type /feeds /posts /default, and if I just type alt equals JSON in script ampersand, and since we are using XML we have to type AMP semicolon as well, and then if we type callback, and if we just add a function, so I'll just call it related posts. Now what will happen is that it will give us all the posts of the Blogger website, and we can use this related posts function to do something with the data. So I'll just simply go ahead and display the data. So I'll just create a script tag to write some JavaScript, and let's create a function called related posts, and we also get some data from this function. So I'll just call it JSON. So I'll just type JSON over here, and here I'll just console.log the data. So I'll just type console.log JSON, and now let's save this. And now let's go back to our website and let's refresh this page. And now if you right click over here and go to inspect, and if you go to the console, here we can see we have the data. So if I just open this, and if I just open the feed, here we can see we have entry, and if I open entry, here we can see we have 9 posts displayed over here, and here we also have another list of data, and if I open this, here we have 9 posts as well. Now here we are getting the data 2 times. That's because we have 2 labels in our post. So we are basically looping through each of the labels, and we are just running the script and we are getting the data. Right now it is fetching all the posts in our Blogger website. Now what we need to do is we need to get the posts of only these labels. So for that, let's go back, and here instead of src we need to type expr colon src, and now here we can add some data from our Blogger theme code. So right now we can see that we are looping through the labels and we are calling it label. So we can just add this label over here inside the script. So first of all, let me just add double quotes over here inside this single quotes, and I'll just add the double quotes over here as well. And here after default we need to type / /, and here we need to add the label. So I'll just type double quotes plus and double quotes to start it again, and here inside these 2 pluses we can add the label. So for that you have to type data colon label dot name. Right now let's see whether it works. So let's click on save, and let's go back to our website and let's refresh this page, and let's right click over here and go to inspect, and let's go to the console, and let's see whether we have the correct posts fetched. So let's go to feed and let's go to entry, and here we have 3 posts. So this is for the first label, which is AI. So let's go back to our list of posts and let's see whether the data is correct. So here we can see we have this post with a label of AI. We have another post, and if you scroll down we have one more post with a label of AI. So we have 3 posts. Let's see what are the titles. So this is how to make your life easy with ChatGPT. Then we have best image generation tools, and then we have AI things you should learn. So let's see whether we are getting the correct data. So let's go back to the console and let's open the entry, and here we can see for the title it says how to make your life easy with ChatGPT. So this is the first post. Let's open the second one, and here it says best image generation tools. Let's open the third post, and it should be this post right here, AI things you should learn. So let's open the third post, and here we can see it says AI things you should learn. So in this first list of data we are getting 3 posts with a label of AI, and then the next label that we have over here in this post is tips. So if you go back to our list of posts. Here we can see for tips we have 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5. So we have 5 posts in total. So let's go back to our post and let's open the second list of posts and let's go to feed and let's go to entry, and here we can see we have 5 posts and everything is working alright. So we are getting the correct posts displayed over here. Now let me just go ahead and display the titles over here so that it's easy for us to inspect the code. So let's go back to our theme code, and here I'll just write some code to display all the titles. So if you go back to the feed, here we can see we are getting the feed, and in that we have the entry, and in the entry we have all these posts, and for each of the posts we have title, and in title we have $T, and in that we have the title. So let's go back, and here first of all I'll just store it inside a variable. So I'll just type let posts equals json.feed.entry, and now let's loop through all these posts. So let's type posts dot for each, and for each of the posts I'll just call it post, and let's create an arrow function, and here in this function I'll just create an s3. So let's type const s3 equals document dot create element, and here let's type s3, and I'll just type s3 dot inner html, and here I'll just type post dot title dot $T, and this will give us the title. Now we need to add this s3 inside our HTML. So here I'll just create a division. So I'll just type div, and I'll just give it a class of related posts, and I'll just close the division over here. And here in the script I'll just type const related posts equals document dot query selector related posts, and here I'll just add all the s3 inside the related posts. So let's type related posts dot append child s3. Right now let's see whether it works. So let's save it and let's go back to our website, and let's refresh this page, and I think we have some problems in the code. So let's right click and go to inspect, and let's see what's the problem. So here we can see it says related posts has already been declared. So if you go back, here we can see we already have this function called related posts. So I'll just name this related posts container. Here also I'll just type container. Right now let's save it. Now let's go back to the website and let's refresh this page. And here we can see we have these titles displayed over here. So these 3 titles are for the label of AI, and then these 5 titles are for the label tips. Now let's open another post, and let's see whether it is working for every post. So let's open this post right here. Let's scroll down, and for this we have these 2 labels, and now here we can see we have these many posts. So if you go back to the posts, here we can see technology and tips have a lot of posts. So this one is a post, then we have this post right here, then we have this one. So we have a lot of posts, but here we can see some of these posts are duplicates. So if you take a look at this, here we can see we have MacBook shortcut keys, and here also we have MacBook shortcut keys. So that's because if you go to the posts for MacBook shortcut keys, we have technology and tips. So both these labels are added for this post right here. That's why we are getting this post 2 times. So we need to eliminate the duplicate posts as well. And we have some more things to do. So the first thing we need to do is we need to eliminate the duplicate posts. The next thing we need to do is we need to display just 3 of these posts. And we also have to randomize these posts. And then the last thing we need to do is we need to eliminate the post which is currently displayed over here. So right now this is the post, how search engine works. But if you scroll down, here also we have this post, how search engine works. So we need to eliminate the current post from these related posts, and then we can simply add this design to our Blogger website. Now in the previous video we started adding this to our Blogger website, and right now this is our progress. We are displaying all the related posts over here. Now these related posts are based on the labels that we have for the current post. So these posts over here are of one of these labels. Now in this video, we're going to see how to add this design to our Blogger website. So we need to display just 2 or 3 of these related posts over here. We don't want to display all these posts over here. And we also have to filter out a unique list from these posts. So right now we can see that this post over here is displayed 2 times. That's because we have 2 labels over here for this post, and these posts also have these 2 labels. And we also have to eliminate the current post from here. So right now the current post is how to make your life easy with ChatGPT, and here also we have the title displayed. So we have to eliminate the current post from here as well. So let's do all of that in this video. Let's get started. Now the first thing we will do is I'll just delete this code from here. So this is basically the related post function which we have over here as a callback function. So in this callback function we are getting this data. Now this data is basically a list of posts that have this label. So we are basically looping through both these labels in our post. But now let's go ahead and add all these posts inside an array. So here I'll just create a variable. I'll just call it all posts, and I'll just set it equal to an empty array. And here I'll just type all posts dot push, and we will add this data to this array. Now to get to the post, you have to go into .feed.entry. So first of all, let me just console.log it over here so that we can see the data clearly. So I'll just type console.log json.feed.entry, and here I'll just use the spread operator. So I'll just type ... and let's type json.feed.entry. Now what this is going to do is it's going to store all this data inside this all posts array, and when we get the second list of posts for the second label, it will also store that into this all posts array. And now here I'll just create a function. I'll just call it display data, and here I'll just display all the posts. So I'll just type console.log all posts, which is this variable right here. So we can just delete this line of code. I'll just display the posts over here. But now let's call this function display data. So here after this loop, let's create a script tag, and let's close it over here. And here in this script tag, I'll just call the function. So I'll just type display data. Right now let's save this, and let's see whether the posts are displayed over here inside our post. Let's refresh the page, and let's go to the console. So I'll just right click over here and go to inspect, and let's go to the console, and here we can see we have this array, and in that we have all these posts. Right now let's go ahead and see how to generate a unique list of all these posts. So if you open any of these posts, so here the first one is how to make your life easy with ChatGPT. Let's open the second one. We have a different title. The third one, we have a different title. Let's open the fourth one, and here we have the same title of the first one, which is how to make your life easy with ChatGPT. So these 2 posts over here are the same, so we need to eliminate one of these. So let me show you how to eliminate the duplicates. So if you go over here to link, here we have this first index, and in that we have this href. So here we can see for the href, we have this ID of the post, and right now it is 9449. And if you open the second post, and if you go to the link and the first index, here we can see we have a different ID 9909. But if you go to the fourth post, and if you go to the link and open the first index, here we have the same ID of the first one 9449. So we have to go ahead and take a look at the link, and in that you have to take a look at the first index, and in that the href. So we have to see whether the href of any of the 2 posts are matching. So let's see how to do that in JavaScript. Let's go back to our code, and here let's create a constant. I'll just name it unique list, and we will use the JavaScript filter function for this. So let's type all posts, which is this array right here. So let's type all posts dot filter, and here we need to have a function. So for this function we will have 3 arguments. The first one is the post, and then we have index, and then we have self. So the first argument post is basically the current object that is being processed, and the second argument is the index, and the third one is the all posts array. Right now we're going to return something from this. So I'll just type equals greater than, and here we can just type the return statement. So here let's type index equals self dot find index, And here also we need to have a function. So we need to have a parameter or argument. So I'll just name it p. And here also we need to return something. So let's type equals greater than. And here let's type p dot link and the first index. And in that we have the href. And we need to see that whether it is equal to post dot link and the first index dot href. So now this will give us the unique list of the all posts array. So let's see whether we are getting the correct data. So let's type console dot log and here let's type unique list. And let's type unique list over here. And let's save this and let's see whether everything is working all right. Let's go back to our post and let's refresh this page. Right now, let's right click over here and go to inspect. And let's go to the console. And here we can see we have a unique list, and in that we have just 6 items in the array. In the original array, we had 8 items. So we'll just quickly open the links and let's see whether each of them are unique. So here we have 9449. Let's open the second one. Here we have a different ID 9909. Let's open the third one. And here we have 9956. Let's open the fourth one. Here we have 4500. And let's open the fifth one. Here we have 1227. And then the last one. And here we have 0525. So every post is unique. Now let's go ahead and add an if condition over here. So what we need to do is we need to add an if condition to see whether we have less than 2 posts. So basically if we have less than 2 posts, then we don't need to display the related posts over here. If we have more than 2 posts, then we will display the related posts. So let's type if unique list dot length, and if it is less than 2, then we'll just hide the container division, or else we will display the related posts. Now since this is XML, you have to type %LT semicolon instead of the less than symbol. Now here the next thing we need to do is we need to randomize the order of the items in the array, and we need to display at most 3 items from the array. So here we can see we have a randomized list of 3 posts over here. Now we have already written the code for this in our JavaScript. So let's go to the source code and let's go to the JavaScript file. And here we have all the JavaScript that we wrote in the design video. So let's go ahead and copy this code from here. And let's paste it over here inside the else. Now let's go back to the source code and let's go to the index.html file. And we need to copy this HTML from here as well. We can just delete all this commented code over here. Right now let's copy this HTML from here. And let's go back and let's paste it in here instead of this HTML. Right now we also need to add the CSS. So let's copy all the CSS from here. And let's paste it over here. I'll just go to the CSS of the theme code. And here after all of this CSS, I'll just create a comment. I'll just type related posts. And let's paste the CSS over here. Right now let's scroll down and let's go back to our code. So I'll just search for related posts. And if you go back to the JavaScript file, here we can see we are referencing some of these elements. So first of all, we are referencing the related post division. So here we have this related post division, and we need to reference that. So here we are calling it related post container. Now if you scroll down, here we can see that we are using this variable right here. So we need to change this to related post container. So I'll just change this to related post container. And here in the if condition, we need to hide the main container division. So we have this division with the class of related post container. So let's reference that. I'll just type const related posts and I'll just call it main container equals document dot query selector related posts container. And here in the if condition, let's type related posts main container dot style dot display equals none. So this will simply hide the related posts when we don't have enough posts. Right now, let's go ahead and change this data. So right now the data is coming from this array in the JavaScript. So here we can see we have created this all post array in the previous videos, and here we have the title, link and thumbnail, and that is the data that we are getting over here. Now we need to update this data with the data from the Blogger website. So let's start doing that. Now the first thing we will do is we'll change all posts to this unique list over here, because we have created this unique list from the all posts array. So we need to change this over here. So we are creating the shuffle list from the unique list. So let's type unique list. Right now let's add the blog details. So let's go back to our Blogger website, and if you right click over here and go to inspect, and if you go to the console, here we can see we have this array, and if I open that, let's see what's the data in the array called. Now the first thing we have over here is the URL of the blog post. So we will do that later. I'll just add a hash over here. We will add this later. And then we have the thumbnail URL. So further, let's go back to our data. And here we can see we have this media $symbol thumbnail. And in that we have the URL. So this is going to be the link of the thumbnail image. So let's go back to our code. And here, instead of post thumbnail, let's change this to post, which we are getting from here. And then we need to type dot media $symbol thumbnail and dot URL. Right, the next thing we need to have is the post link. So here also I'll just type hash. We will add this later. And then we have the post title. So let's go back to our website. And here we can see for the post title, we have this title. And in that we have $symbol T. So let's get this. So here we need to type post.title.$symbol T. And I think that's it with the data. So let's go ahead and click on save. And let's go back to our post and let's refresh this page. And now let's scroll down, and here we can see we have the related post displayed over here. Let's refresh this page once again. And now we have another set of related posts. Let's open another post. So I'll just open this post right here. But now let's scroll down, and here we have these three related posts. Now one thing we need to do over here is to remove the current post. So right now this is the post, best image generation tools. But here, even in the related posts, we have the post displayed over here. So we need to eliminate the current post from the list. So for that, let's go back to our code. Now the first thing we need to do is we need to get the current URL. So for that, let's create a variable. So here I'll just create a variable called current URL or current post link. And we'll just set that equal to single quotes data :post.url. So this is going to give us the current post URL. I'll just console.log it over here. So I'll just type current post link. Let's go back to our website and let's see whether the current post link is being displayed. Let's refresh this page and let's go back to the console. And here we can see we have the current link displayed. Now here, if you take a look at this array, and if we open a post, here we have the link, and the last index is the link of the post. So here we can see this is the link of this post right here, how to make your life easy with ChatGPT. Now if you open another post, for example, this post right here, and if you go to link, we have the last index which has the link of the post. So what we can do is we can compare this link with the current post link, and if both of them are the same, then we'll just exclude the item from the array. Here, after the unique list, I'll just create one more constant and we'll just call it filtered list. And we'll set that equal to unique list dot filter, and we'll just call it post. Let's create an arrow function and we'll just return something. So here we need to type post dot link, and in the link we had the last element. So here we can see we have the last item, and in that we have the href. So let's type link, and here we'll just type post dot link dot length, which will give us the length of the array -1. So this will select the last element of the array link, and here we need to type dot href. is not equal to, and here we have created this variable for the current post link. So let's tap current post link. Right now we need to change this unique list to the filtered list. So let's tap filtered list, and let's also console.log the filtered list. So I'll just tap console.log filtered list, and here let's tap filtered list. Right now let's save this, and let's go back to our website and let's refresh this page. Right now let's go to the console, and here we can see we have this unique list, and in the unique list we have 7 items. So one of these items is the current post. So let's open these. So this is the first item. So here we can see the second element is the current post. Now if you open the filtered list, here the first post is a different one, and we have different one over here. So the current post is not displayed over here in this filtered list. So now everything is looking alright. Now let's open another post, and let's open this post right here. And for this we have these 3 posts as the related posts. Now let's go ahead and delete some of these labels, and let's see whether we have the related post displayed when we have less posts. So let's go back to our list of posts, and let's go ahead and delete one of these labels from here. So here for AI, let's go ahead and delete the tips label, and let's update this. Let's go back to the list of posts. Now let's count how many posts we have with the AI label. So we have 1 post over here, then we have 1 post, and in total we have 3 posts with the label of AI. So let's open one of these posts. I'll just open this one right here because this has only 1 label. And here we can see that we have 2 of the posts displayed over here. Now let's go back to the list of posts, and here from the first post I'll just remove AI, and let's update. Now let's go back to our post, and let's refresh this page. And now we can see we have 1 post displayed over here. So if you go back to our code, now here we can see we are adding an if condition, and we are checking whether the unique list length is less than 2. Now since we have created this array, we need to add that over here. So let's tap filtered list. Right now let's save this, and let's go back to our post, and let's refresh this page. And now if we scroll down, we can see that the related posts are not displayed over here. That's because we have added this if condition, and when we don't have more than 2 posts, we are just hiding the main container division, which is this division right here, related post container. And if we have 2 or more than 2 posts, then the related posts will be displayed over here. So let's go ahead and add the AI tag over here. So let's tap AI, and let's update this. And now if you go back to our post, and if I refresh this page, now here we can see that the related posts are displayed over here. Now there are 2 things we need to fix. The first one is we need to add the link of the post. So right now we have just set it to hash. The next thing is that we need to change the resolution of the thumbnail. Right now it is of low quality. So let's do that. Let's go back to our code. And for the link of the post, you can just go to post.link, and you can go to the last index and go to href. So let's copy this from here, and let's paste it for the thumbnail link href. So I'll just paste it over here, and let's do the same for the title. So here we have the href for the title, so I'll just change this to the link. And now if you save this, and if you go back to the post, and if I refresh this page, and now here we can see we have the link of the post displayed. So if I click on this post, we are taken to that post over here. So the links are working all right. Now the last thing we need to do is we need to change the resolution of this image. So for that, let's open the console. Here we can see in the array we have the post, and in that we have the media thumbnail, and in that we have the URL. So if I open this value, here we can see we have this /s72 displayed over here. So right now the resolution of this image is set to 72. We need to change this to something else. So we need to replace /s72 with something else. So for that, let's go back to our code, and here for the image URL, let's tap dot replace, and here let's type /s72, and we need to replace it with another text. So let's type /s, and I'll just type 400. And now let's save this. And let's go back to the post and let's refresh this page. And now we can see we have the high quality thumbnail. So let's open one of these posts. And here we can see we have this high quality thumbnail for the related posts. So everything seems to be working all right. Let's go to the console and we don't have any errors. Now we can simply stop this console log from here. So let's go back to the code and let's delete all the console logs. So let's delete these 2 lines of code and also this console log over here and also the link of the current post. Alright, now let's save this. And let's go back to the post and let's refresh this page. And if you go to the console, we don't have anything displayed over here. So that's basically how you can create a custom related post widget from scratch using HTML, CSS and JavaScript for your Blogger website. And this is also completely responsive. So that's basically it for this video. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the comments below. And if you like this video, please click on the like button and subscribe to this channel to get the latest video updates. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day.